All right. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for zooming in this morning. Uh, Coffee with Kifowit, Facebook Live, if you're on Facebook, also on wherever you get your podcast, because this actually gets put out there as a podcast as well. So just want to talk about how fast this year has gone by. It is now December 9th. And honestly, I am just always shocked at how fast the years go by. They say, the days are long, but the months are short, the years are short, and we're coming up middle of December right now. So just to give you a little bit of something fun that I read today is today in 1965, that was before I was born, Charlie Brown Christmas was released in its debut. So a Charlie Brown Christmas has been around since 1965 today. So that's a fun little tidbit for you. Also today, November 9th, was National Pastry Day. So I know everybody has their favorite baked goods from your local bakery. So shop local, visit a local bakery in your area. I know there's some in the downtown area of Oswego, and then there's also some in Aurora. Harner's has been around for a long time in North Aurora. So certainly, if you so choose, pick up some favorite baked goods from your local bakery. And with baked goods and pastries come coffee, of course, coffee with Kiffy. So the coffee mug today, I pulled out a Christmas one. I know that I've been seeing Christmas trees go up in the neighborhood in people's windows. It's a little Christmas tree car mug to start celebrating the season. So if you haven't gotten your Christmas tree up, I have not yet. But when you get your Christmas tree up, certainly it's always been a family affair in my household to decorate the Christmas tree. It's always been a lot of fun. So that's the mug of today. Tuesday, December 10th is Human Rights Day. So Human Rights Day is observed to commemorate the signing of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. So the declaration affirms that every person, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, language, or other status, will always be entitled to inalienable human rights. We have that in our Constitution here in Illinois. We have our Human Rights Commission. We've had them on, I believe, last year, some commissioners to talk about the Human Rights Commission and how we in Illinois protect human rights. Friday, November 13th, is the National Guard birthday. Illinois has a National Guard. It's a unique National Guard. The National Guard in Illinois is composed of the Army National Guard and the Air National Guard. So we have two forces combined to have the Illinois National Guard. It goes all the way back, believe it or not. The National Guard traces its way all the way back to 1636. So our citizen soldiers have proudly and bravely served our nations ever since. So we're going to wish them a very happy birthday. Now, for those who know, the National Guard can get called up into active duty. They're not reservists like Army reservists or Air Force reservists proper. They're Illinois National Guard, which means they can be called up by the governor or by the Department of Defense. So, and they can be called up from the Department of Defense and the Army or the Air Force, and they go active duty, similar to our reservists. Now, one thing that to talk about, which was passed, was Pearl Harbor Day. Now, Pearl Harbor Day is a day that will live in infamy. Pearl Harbor is when one can say the U.S. officially went into World War II when the Japanese came and bombed Pearl Harbor. A couple years ago, I was able to go to the Pearl Harbor National Museum, the monument right there. It's incredible to see the sunken ships in the bottom of Pearl Harbor. And every year it's been great, and especially today, I'm going to the Aurora Navy League's Pearl Harbor Day. And over the years, they had at most 8 or so Pearl Harbor Day survivors. Last year, I believe the one individual couldn't make it. Of course, World War II veterans are getting older and older, but we still love them and we still appreciate them. And so we still have a few World War II guys around, and there are still a few Pearl Harbor um, survivors, and to hear their stories and to listen to the stories with regards to Pearl Harbor was it's quite moving. So if you haven't, take a time, do a little search and research the history of Pearl Harbor and us entering into World War II. Our very good friend, our World War II veteran, Dick Miller, um, is slowing down, and we don't know how long we'll have him, but we have to appreciate those that are among us today and every day, not just our World War II veterans, but all that have served, and in this time of the year, remember friends, family, and the like, especially remember those serving overseas and not with us today. On that note, in less than a week, after being gone for about 2.5 years, missing 3 Christmases in total, my son is actually coming back to the States for some leave for a couple weeks. So we're very excited to see him here. I know I've gone and visited him in Japan for a couple times now, but he's actually coming home to the hometown to probably relax, and see family and friends, and whatever a 22-year-old guy wants to do. To be quite honest, he's not a young child anymore, but still really happy to see him at home. So remember those that are abroad, but also remember how far we've come. So from being adversaries in Pearl Harbor to now my son being stationed in Japan, and now we are strong allies. So certainly that's how things go throughout history. And we're very, very honored and proud of Illinois' partnership and international partnership with Japan, and one of our closest allies. And it's just how history redefines itself. So again, Google and search Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, the day that will live in infamy. So what is going around town? The Kris Kringle Market in Aurora has opened now Thursdays through Sundays. So Thursday it's 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday is 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's located at Rivers Edge Park, right there on Broadway in Aurora. The Kris Kringle Market, Chicago is the most authentic traditional holiday market of its kind outside of Europe, offering a unique shopping experience, family-friendly events, and intercultural activities. Several years ago, I was able to go to Germany, and I have to tell you that in just about every small town in Germany about this time is a Kris Kringle Market. So the fact that we get a German-style Christmas market here in Aurora, it's great. It's a lot of fun. They're always free admission. They have lots of great things to eat: roasted nuts, fresh pretzels, bratwurst, spiced wine, music, and of course, a lot of sparkling Christmas ornaments for that tree I talked about at the beginning of this segment. So visit the market. It's a lot of fun. And the weather this past weekend has been great. So hopefully you were able to enjoy this weekend. Not sure about the upcoming weather, but certainly enjoy the 50-degree weather in December when you can. If you're looking at what did I do a little bit this week around town, I want to call you Monday, December 2nd. I was at Old Post Elementary School speaking to 5th graders. And it's really fun. I just enjoy visiting with young students. They are full of energy, great questions. And so I spoke to a couple of 5th grade groups in the library about government. They are doing their government section, and explained to them how the state works, the federal government works, how we work with the local municipalities, and it was a lot of fun. In fact, I guess I made an impression on because I got a Facebook message from a parent later that evening that said that my son couldn't stop talking about state government. So I guess I did my job well. And then last week I was at the Council of State Governments National Conference. The main theme throughout the conference was AI, how government can look at artificial intelligence, smart ways to regulate, and a lot of other great topics was said. We talked about a little bit about history and Lincoln. That was an interesting segment. And then I left early. Actually, the conference went until Sunday, but I left early Friday morning, December 6th. So I was only at the council for Wednesday and Thursday. And I was a featured speaker the last plenary for the Illinois Public Sector Labor Relations and Labor Law Conference. It was at Chicago-Kent College of Law. And we talked about public pensions. And so it was a very good discussion with regards to that. Now, if you live, not in my district, but Monica Silva was a Kane County board member for District 7 in Aurora. She was recently sworn in as the new Kane County coroner. So there is a vacancy in District 7. So if you live in District 7, that's not part of our area. We have mostly Kane County District 5. But if you live in Kane County or you know somebody in Kane County District 7, the vacancy to the Kane County Board will be filled by an appointment of the chair of the county board with the advice and consent of the county board itself. So certainly you need to be the same party as a person the appointee succeeds. That's Illinois law. And they will serve the remainder of the term, which expires in December 2026. And ironically, all Kane County board members also serve as members of the Kane County Forest Preserve District Commission. So certainly look into that. You can go to the Kane County website. December 17th is the last day to submit a cover letter or resume, and you can get more information on the Kane County website. This week we have on the 10th, December 10th, Mental Health and Addiction Committee. It's an interesting subject matter, and they've invited the Veterans Committee members to attend either in person or via Zoom. And it's talking about a trend in mental health and behavioral health treatment, which is the use of psychedelics and in a controlled clinical fashion to treat extreme trauma. Not only extreme trauma on individuals that have suffered abuse or traumatic events, but also veterans as well who have experienced trauma as well. So I will be zooming in on that subject matter. That is on the 10th, December 10th. So if you're interested in that, it's at 1 p.m. You can view it. You can view it at ilga.gov. December 13th, Personnel Pensions Committee, that's my committee. That's going to be at 10 a.m. on Friday the 13th. I hope I didn't jinx myself by having a Friday the 13th committee meeting. And then December 16th, we have Revenue and Finance Committee at 9 a.m. So I have not only some committees, but also my son coming home and a lot of great things going on in this neck of the woods. Just a quick break. We're going to say good morning to Bonnie and good morning to Ellen. Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. Again, you can catch our Facebook Live at IL District 84. That's on Facebook at IL District 84. We've talked a little bit about this, and again, IDFPR, the Illinois Department of Financial Regulation. So there had been some issue. It's officially the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. I didn't put the and in there. So we've been rolling this out. And there's been issues with people getting licenses. My office has been trying to work with people. They are modernizing the licensing system. So the first phase of the plan to modernize the management and licensing process for service providers across the state. It was a pilot program. I talked about it maybe a month or so ago, making business easier, more efficient for providers is what they're working on. So gotta love government. I want to know the person that really can think up these great acronyms, because I'm not really good at that. But the Comprehensive Online Regulatory Environment, or CORE, the CORE system, opened on October 30th, nearly a year after that we had to pass a law that authorized them to upgrade its antiquated system that had led to long waiting periods and license and renewals. I've talked about our antiquated system in the state before. It was still being run on COBOL, and very, very few people could do COBOL. We had, I think, the only COBOL programmers in the state still working for us to help us keep our old DOS-based systems going. So we are upgrading it. We had to really input a lot of information, sometimes by hand. So it was really, really a difficult system. But the new system now will eliminate the need for paper applications, give applicants more control over their application materials, and prevent deficient applications from being submitted. So this is the first part, multi-phase approach. We have 1.2 million professionals. 1.2 million professionals and over 300 license types in Illinois. So this was a huge issue. And so they're transitioning them into the new system. It's going to take time. So it's a multi-phase approach. The first professionals to be licensed on the new systems are clinical psychologists, music therapists, and nail technicians. So that was, the first phase. I had to have it small, test out the system, and make sure that it's working, and make sure that people can get licensed and get to work as soon as possible. Now, music therapists, you say. In 2022, we passed a bill, Senate Bill 2243, for those who are interested, which created a music therapy license for Illinois practitioners within IDFPR. So music therapy is a form of treatment that incorporates clinical and evidence-based use of music intervention to accomplish individual goals within a therapeutic relationship. Now, music has always, in my opinion, been seen as an outlet. If you listen to music on the radio, some songs are written about struggles, some songs are written about happy times, all different gamut of feelings are put out there in our music system, in the radio, whatever you listen to. There are angry songs, happy songs, indifferent songs. So music and art, especially art therapy through the mediums of painting and drawing and music, has been really, really successful, because I know in the veteran community, sometimes things are hard to talk about, or there's just no words to talk about it, or it's painful to talk about. So expressing those feelings through other mediums, such as art or music, really helps out the individual, and is a therapeutic avenue that individuals need to explore. So it's been 2.5 years since we passed the bill, but now they are part of the first phase of the IDFPR licensure. So I think that's good. It's according to the music therapists, they say that the new system is easy and efficient to complete the application process. So very looking forward to seeing how that goes, and looking forward to see how the rest of the rollout of the 1.2 million individuals. Hopefully it's as seamless as the first couple groups. So that would be great. Now, Governor Pritzker has announced the first secretary for the Illinois Department of Early Childhood. Now, if you recall, the governor announced that he's putting child resources, education, child care, community engagement, early childhood development, kind of under one umbrella. And the governor created a little while ago, the Illinois Department of Early Childhood. And so the first secretary for the newly formed Illinois Department of Early Childhood was selected. Teresa Ramos was announced last week by the governor to have gotten the nomination. She is pending state Senate confirmation. So we are looking at the governor said in his press release that Ramos's experience across education, childcare, community engagement, and early childhood development make her a leader in her field that I know will lead to new development to success, stated Governor Pritzker in his press release. Governor Pritzker and the General Assembly, working on the budget, has put more funding and resources towards the state early childhood education. That is a top priority of the governor, and early childhood education has been proven to give a foundation for successes later on in life. So certainly that is really important. Ms. Ramos served as the first Assistant Deputy Governor of Education under Governor Pritzker since 2022. So she's not new to the role, nor has a learning curve. She's been working with us this whole time. And prior to working with the governor's office in 2022, Ramos had a long career in early childhood education and children. So she was the vice president of public policy, research, and advocacy at Illinois Action for Children, a nonprofit that focuses on childcare and early childhood education, and the largest administrator for the Child Care Assistance Program in Cook County, program that provides financial aid for childcare to low-income families. She was also the director of community engagement for Alliance Illinois, nonprofit education advocacy program, and helped with the governor's education transition team in 2018. So we welcome her aboard, and it is expected that she'll begin serving as secretary for the department in January if she is confirmed. So certainly a great initiative, and looking forward to seeing the outcomes of this great work. The Illinois Conservation Foundation announced winners of the inaugural Illinois Outdoor Excellence Awards. So, first ever Illinois Outdoor Excellence Award winners. It's a new award, prestigious new award, that celebrates individuals and organizations making remarkable contributions to Illinois' natural resources, outdoor heritage, and conservation efforts. The inaugural award winners will be honored alongside the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame inductees at the annual Illinois Conservation Federation Gala on March 13th. So certainly we want to congratulate all the award winners with regards to our winners. First, I want to say good morning to, just came in, Paul and Roger Trent. I saw Roger at the VFW just the other day, and then Bonnie as well. Thanks for coming on, guys. Really appreciate you coming on the Facebook Live portion of this. So just to give a quick one, there are quite a few winners, but just to give you an idea of what these awards are: Outdoor Influencer of the Year, Fresh Air Friendship, Emma McGrady and Stephanie Schweitzka, and Emma McGrady and Stephanie's inspiring journey to visit all 135 Illinois Department of Natural Resources state parks captured the hearts of many. So they encourage others to connect to nature, support local businesses, prioritize mental and physical well-being, and they do this through blogs, social media, and community engagement. So certainly congratulations to them. Outdoor Business Owner of the Year, Park Bait owner Stacy Green. So Stacy Green is the owner of Chicago's oldest bait shop. It has been the cornerstone of the angling community. Her unwavering support of local fishing programs, including IDNR's Chicago Urban Fishing Program, and her leadership of the Chicago Fishing Advisory Committee, exemplify her commitment to promoting lakefront fishing and conservation. Outdoor Volunteer Organization of the Year, co-winners this year, Central Illinois Kayaking and Floating Under. And that is under the leadership of Kevin Craner. The group has performed online advocacy, direct environmental action, river cleanup initiatives, particularly the Mackinac River, and removed tens of thousands of pounds of trash. And then Outdoor Volunteer Organization of the Year, the other co-winner, is Annie Oakley Shooters of Northern Illinois, a women-led organization advancing clay target shooting for women of all ages through education, training, and scholarships. Inclusivity and safety has introduced new participants to shooting sports, building a strong community of female shooters across Illinois. I have done clay target shooting. It's not as easy as it looks, but it's very, very enjoyable, and hopefully I'll get to do it again one of these days. Outdoor Writer Author of the Year goes to Carrie Luff, Executive Vice President of the Max McGraw Wildlife Foundation. Carrie Luff has combined his journalistic experience and conservation advocacy to make significant contributions to wildlife preservation. He has extensive publications, educational initiatives, and mentorship efforts. So those are the winners. They represent the very best of Illinois' outdoor community. And give them all, if you know any of these people or visit some of those businesses, give them a congratulations. Finally, a couple more things, and then we'll let you go on your way. Illinois opens high school program registration for student-led initiative to prevent targeted school violence and hate in their communities. So register for the free Illinois Invent to Prevent, I2P, School Safety and Prevention Program. It's sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, running from January to May 2025. The I2P Invent to Prevent program is managed by Southern Illinois University Edwardsville and Adventure Partners in partnership with the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and the Office of Homeland Security. So sometimes one of the best ideas come from students in the school and those working in the school setting. So this is a program to have students take an active role to creating safer school environments, design and implement peer-developed projects, tools, and strategies aimed at targeting violence and hate within their schools and communities. It just is such a great project, and each high school will receive a $1,000 budget to implement their project, and select teams may also have the opportunity to compete in the national I2P competition in Washington, D.C., with all expenses paid for from the Department of Human Services. 5 slots are available for Illinois high schools for the January to May 25th, 2025 session, offered on a first-come, first-served basis. Additionally, 20 slots were open for the October 2025 to March 2026 session. So, now, this past June, Chicago Public Schools Inglewood STEM High School placed 3rd in the national I2P competition in Washington, D.C. So certainly we've had some winners from Illinois. Their initiative, Mind Over Mad Her, addresses female-on-female bullying in high schools by fostering connection and understanding through shared experiences. It's a zero-cost group therapy for both victims and perpetrators, empowering young women with coping skills, empathy, and awareness of how trauma shapes the responses and anxiety and insecurity. So we can have information on our website. We do send out emails. Contact Tony Seguro, CEO of Ed Venture Partners, at edventurepartners.com. Illinois winter rule is in effect December 1st. Consumers that Illinois' winter weather rule will take effect from December 1st to March 31st. What this means is it prohibits utilities from disconnecting eligible customers who use electric or gas as their primary source of home heating. So that is, we pass a law. You want to say government, does pass laws that help individuals. So from December 1st through March, if you fall behind in your utility bills, okay, there is a program we talked about before, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, and a percentage of income payment plan that can help you with your electricity bills if you fall behind. but it is against the law to turn off the heat on a house during the winter months. Households that are struggling to pay their bills, they can apply for these programs. And if you need help with that, you can call my office and we can point you in the right direction. Now, what's fun is the not fun, but the Office of the Illinois State Fire Marshal. It's fun to announce grants for fire safety and to help with local municipalities. That's what the state does. That's what's fun, is helping local municipalities and fire departments across the state of Illinois. So the Office of the State Fire Marshal announced the opening of the application period for our new fire station construction and rehabilitation grant program. So this program provides grants up to $350,000 for the construction or rehabilitation of fire stations, with a total of $5 million available to departments across the state. Applications must be electronically submitted or postmarked no later than February 28th, 2025. Now, what's interesting is, so there's a grant portal and you have to go through the process for the grant, but the fire service also helps itself. And in a recent article, I believe in today's Beacon News, the Aurora Fire Department was taking out of service an engine from, I believe the engine was from 2011, but it was an older engine, and they had just gotten awarded a grant. They got a new engine, and the Aurora Fire Department donated that that engine to a downstate fire department that really needed it, that didn't have the no money to pay for their own fire engine. And the engine is still has some life in it. So it was a signatory dollar. And it was on the front page of the Beacon News. And, whenever we can help out our fellow individuals, and in this case, our fellow fire department, even if they did have to drive 6 hours from Southern Illinois to come up and claim the fire department's engine, certainly that's what we do. That's what we should do, is help out. It's not a DNR. It's not any. It's helping people out. And so congratulations, and I think that's great news that the Aurora Fire Department is working collectively throughout the state to help other fire departments that are in a bit of need of engines and support. So that's what we're supposed to do. Then just finally, Don, we were just looking at a couple things. We had published in the National Magazine was an in-depth look on the end of cash bail. And I know that it was a very emotional subject, ending cash bail, looking at really the discretion of the individuals and whether or not they should be kept in jails based on the crime, not whether they have money or not. It was called the Pretrial Fairness Act. It went into effect in September of 2023. Did not see any increase in crime or criminal activities, or criminals running amok. What it has done is it's kind of right-sized the system so that individuals who are poor tended to be jailed more than those that could afford to bail out. So now now we're still looking at it. There's still some issues with people that should stay in jail, and we're still looking at that. There's some tweaks that need to be done, but those individuals could have bonded out as well. So one of the crimes is that they looked at was a teenager who was charged with stealing a backpack, spent 3 years in jail because his family couldn't afford his $3,000 bail, and then he later committed suicide. That's not right. So especially a backpack. So looking at that, we did not see any increase in crime. Crime did not explode. Things didn't go crazy. Longer detention hearings didn't ruin the legal system. All that was blown out of proportion. and it seems to be working fine. It puts changes in place to get a fairer system and not penalizing people for being poor, and charging crimes that are actually dangerous crimes or likely to run away. Now, there was a situation I think I might have talked about a judge who did let an individual who was accused of domestic violence out on recognizance, and later committed a murder. That judge was removed from the bench and from the domestic violence courts, and they are reviewing his decision making. The point is that we should have somebody looking at the case and making sure that dangerous people stay behind bars, regardless of how much money they have. And that's the key to the bill. And then we did State Board of Elections certify the election. We had a lower decline in turnout. People just weren't motivated to vote that much. We've seen lots of arguments with regards to that. A lot of back of the napkin talking about people. One of the closest race, though, was Representative Marty McLaughlin in Barrington Hills, officially won with a 47 vote victory. 47 votes. So when people think their vote doesn't count, it does count. And that individual ran by 47 votes. Representative Amy Grant won by 292 votes. And we're talking out of, thousands and tens of thousands of voters. And then Representative Brandon Schweitzer was reelected by 269 votes. So very, very tight margins sometimes. So every vote counts. Certainly that's, really important. And then finally, if you're going to O'Hare Airport, finally, Terminal 5 parking garage is open. So, and the other parking garage is open at Midway, by the way. If you go to Midway, the parking garage there was under construction. That's open now too. But the big news was the Chicago Department of Aviation regionally celebrated the grand opening of a new 6-story parking garage serving the recently renovated and expanded Terminal 5, the latest milestone achieved by the city towards the modernization of O'Hare International Airport. So it more than doubles the amount of available parking at Terminal 5, handles both domestic and international passengers. It's a $191 million garage, features a parking guidance system that provides real-time availability of parking spots, as well as 48 electric vehicle charging station. It connects to Terminal 5 by way of an enclosed pedestrian bridge on the first level, and it replaces a portion of the adjacent Lot D surface parking lot that offers both short-term and long-term parking options. So if you are flying out of O'Hare and you are flying out of Terminal 5, check out the new parking structure. And then there was a bit of an expose, an individual, not expose, but Larry Golden points out that the Illinois Innocence Project at the University of Illinois Springfield uses undergraduate students in researching and reviewing cases, making it the only innocence project in the nation to do so. He accepted the Humanitarian of the Year award presented by the Greater Springfield Interfaith Association as annual Thanksgiving service at Temple Bris Shalom in November 24th. So certainly he talks about how they change people's lives. Young people are coming in and their lives are being changed by the work, and they're telling them that they're seeing results of the seeds that got planted in the cases that these students are looking at. So what they were looking at, this award comes on the heels of the organization, along with 2 other groups, working for the release of Danny Davis, a Cairo, Illinois man who spent 32 years behind bars after pleading guilty to a murder and robbery of a woman who ran a convenience store in town. According to the release, Davis endured psychological and physical abuse after being brought in for initial questioning, including being threatened with the death penalty. He and his brother signed false confession statements implicating themselves and another person. They pleaded guilty because he wanted to live, and not die from what he thought. So they look at all levels of policy, policing, and government to reduce and eliminate wrongful convictions in Illinois. They have found 25 innocent people. So congratulations to Larry Golden and his work with the Illinois Innocence Project. And then Chance the Rapper wins nearly $140,000 for Chicago charity on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. So $140,000 for social work. If you didn't see him, Chance the Rapper, Grammy Award-winning artist, whose real name is Chancellor Jonathan Bennett, bested music legends Diane Warwick and Little John in the holiday-themed Celebrity Wheel of Fortune episode that was Monday night. So it's going to Social Works and 8th Annual Warmest Winter Initiative, which addresses homelessness and extreme hardships in Chicago. So congratulations to that. Founded in 2016, Social Works helps thousands of youth annually by focusing also on education, mental health, homelessness, and performing and literary arts. And then finally, again, just want to give a shout out to the Aurora Fire Department and their fire engine to Southern Illinois. I just glanced over my notes again. It was a 2001 engine, and it was an upgrade for Cairo Auxiliary. So Cairo has a fire department, and the auxiliary helps them out because down in Southern Illinois, the districts are so huge and so spread out that they have to have an auxiliary fire department. So it's a 2001 engine, and they currently have a 1995 model, which was actually donated from Round Lake back in the day, a couple of years ago. So congratulations again to Aurora Fire Chief David McCabe in the press release, and the fire marshal again does that as well. So with that, just a little 29 square miles. That's how much they have to cover. So with that, have a great Monday. Hope all is well with you. Hope that your December is turning out good. Getting ready for the upcoming holiday in just a couple of weeks, and stay warm. If something happens, call my office, and there are heating centers available as well. But be well, and be careful. The flu bug's out there, COVID's still out there, RSV is out there as well. And have a great week. And remember Pearl Harbor Day. And take care. We will see you next Monday morning. Have a great one.